Hello, BookTube. I watch a lot of BookTube, as you may imagine, not just in what I used to call our little community of BookTube, but also the broader ecosystem. A lot. It's the main thing that I watch during the day. What's the matter, baby? What's wrong? Do you want to come down? Huh? I watch a lot of BookTube, and there are a lot of normal patterns to BookTube viewing, right? There are tags and hauls and unhauls and read-alongs and read-with-me's and all that sort of thing. And one of the staples of BookTube, both the 200 or so channels that I watch most intimately, and also the 200 or so channels that I would never leave a comment on. For instance, the person who runs the channel has no idea that the comments are there. That it's a business. One of the staples for those channels is where you go with the person to a library book sale, or they do a library book sale book haul. I've done that myself many times on this channel. A lot of you that are watching have channels and have done the same thing. You've done your library book sale hauls. And I got to thinking, nudged a little by a certain library director that I know, I got to thinking about how many of you do that, and I wondered how many of you know how that happens. You've enjoyed the benefit of a library book sale, but I wonder sometimes how many people pay attention to how that comes about. It's not the library that does that. It's an organization called the Friends of the Library that does that. Your library has such an organization. Almost certainly it does. These organizations are adjunct to the library, but they aren't part of the library's budget. They aren't part of the library's select board management or anything like that. They're an adjunct booster system, kind of a secondary immune system and health system to your library. Most Friends of the Library have, they're all volunteer organizations. Most of them have nominal dues, annual dues for members, and that allows them to create a kind of small working budget. Of course, in some of the larger library ecosystems, that working budget is fairly large. And the Friends of the Library add to that budget. They are the ones who run your book sales. Whether you have, a semi-annual, or in Boston's case, every other month book sale, or whether or not you're lucky enough to have one of those libraries that has an ongoing book sale, where there's just a few shelves or a whole bookcase or even a whole area. The Brookline Public Library in the Boston area, for instance, for a long time, had a whole separate area set aside for a very thriving book sale. I think COVID ended that. But COVID might have slowed it down in some other libraries, but I'm sure they've sprung right back up again. And in circumstance like that, the money that's coming in there is being harvested by the Friends of the Library to use for the library's benefit. Not just to perpetuate book sales, but for all kinds of other things. All kinds of your library's programming that you love. Whether it's free educational programs for kids, or the ability of the library to hand out tablets or tech to patrons on demand, or all kinds of author and speaker events, that sort of thing. All the extra stuff, the community-related, boostery type stuff that you love about your library, chances are a large amount of that is organized and made to happen by the Friends of the Library, not by the library itself. The library itself has all sorts of other things to do, and the Friends of the Library take up the slack. They help to promulgate the library's influence, to promulgate the library's image with the greater community. They are, in large part, invaluable to libraries big, medium, and small, all across the country. And when I see this time of year, library book sales tend to increase on BookTube, and when I see them, I wonder how many people have ever given any thought to the health of your library's Friends of the Library group. Because a library, again, small, medium, or large, that has an ailing or a failing Friends group will do poorly. It will really hurt the library. And one that has a big, boisterous, multi-voiced, especially multi-generational Friends group will only be strengthened by that. Your library will be infinitely strengthened by that. And that's not other people, right? That's you. I wonder, I guess, the point of this little video here, the little oddity of a video, is to sort of put the idea in your head, if it hasn't been there already, of maybe considering joining your Friends of the Library. Wherever you are, whatever library it is. If you're not sure that such an organization even exists, go to Google and type in the name of your library after Friends of. Type in Friends of, and then whatever your library is. You'll get directed straight to them. I'm almost certain that they exist. I don't know of any example of a library that doesn't have a Friends organization of some kind or other. And unfortunately, given the lives that we all lead, where everybody is super busy, everybody has 2 jobs, everybody has all kinds of commitments, everybody's kind of expecting that everybody else will take up the slack. Given that fact, it's a sad reality that quite a few Friends of the Library groups all across the country are increasingly populated only by older folks, by the elderly, who have a little bit of the time to donate and who have been reminded many, many times in their lives how incredibly vital the library is to their community. And that's wonderful to see, and their dedication is wonderful. I know that for a fact from the Friends of the Library and the 2 libraries that I belong to here. But new blood is always good. New voices, new priorities, new perspectives on everything are always good. If your Friends of the Library is mostly elderly men and women, they're really gonna value a homeowner and a father or mother of 2 who's in their 40s. That's going to be invaluable. And it's possible to do. Granted, you are overworked, you are overextended, you are overbusy, but I wanted to put the idea in your head of finding your local Friends of the Library group and offering some of your time. Go to some of the meetings, pay your dues, and go to some of the meetings. Offer your opinions. See where you can help. Maybe your friends group has events or plans for events that are only waiting because there aren't enough willing hands. You could help with that. So I wanted to make a little plea. I think about it every time I see a library book sale hall on BookTube. Is maybe to put the idea in your head to investigate that and see if it's something that you can't do in your locality. Your library, your Friends of the Library group, and your library will both be incredibly grateful for it. So, just a little PSA from Steve to you. Investigate your Friends of the Library and find out if you're not involved at all, find out what it would take to get involved and what you might like. I bet you would find the experience rewarding. There's that plea, and naturally, since it's a video of mine, there's also a bit of a nosy bit to the video, because I also want to know, those of you who are part of your Friends of the Library, I'd love to hear your tales from all across the world. If you are a member of your Friends of the Library group, what's it like? Is your membership dwindling? Are you in trouble? Do you need new blood? Or are you going strong? And what does your friends group do? I want to hear all about that. Of course I do. Of course I do. But for those of you who've never considered it, I wanted to make this video to help you consider it, because it's worth considering. It's a good thing to do. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Just a quick video about the Friends of the Library, of all things. You never know what you're going to get on this channel. But I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.